I'm not using the mic because of the big number of people, but we have an online session, and to have the sound on online session, I need to use the mic. Let me introduce myself. I'm Sam Kebizi from Marseille, France. I'm the director of NGO called Les Têtes de l'Art, means Heads of Art, and we are coordinating the Mediterranean Youth Council. So I'm going to moderate this session. In a few seconds, I will tell you more about our session, but let me give the mic to the three members of the MYC.
So, hello, I am George from Egypt, and I'm a part of Mediterranean Youth Council, Gender and Discrimination Working Group.
Hi, I am Federico. I'm from Regione Campania, which is southern Italy. I'm representing Regione Campania, and I'm in the Interculturality and Society group of the MYC.
Hello everyone, so I'm Ibtisem, I'm from Algeria, and I'm the co-president of the Mediterranean Youth Council, representing the region of Oran, and I will tell you more after. So.
Thanks to you, Ibtisem. So, we are invited in the frame of the user forum. As you understood this morning during the introduction of the forum, there is a key topic around youth and the role of youth, not about discussion, but taking place in governance body, have them into action. And the Med Youth Council was born more or less 2 years ago, and have an active role in the Mediterranean, but want clearly to make to strengthen the links with the Balkan area. So the purpose of this workshop is to discuss together around common synergies, activities, but also to work on the key topic of the MYC this year around inequality. We will talk a bit later on. And from the session we're going to have during 1 hour and 15 minutes more or less, because after it's lunch, very important, we're going to use the result of our workshop to have in the afternoon a discussion with politic and institutional to see how we can implement the discussion we had this morning. This is more or less the frame. The rules of the workshop are quite easy, but we are not too much, so it's going to be easier to make it. There is no spectators and no participant. Everyone is going to be active. It's dedicated to youth, but you are young, or you have been young, or you are young in your head, but whatever, everyone can have an active role in this session, whatever your position, okay? And I don't know if you can join us. Is it possible to join us? Not to have anyone in the back. It's the principle of this session, to have everyone on board. And to create a kind of clear mapping of who we are, we're gonna very simply introduce ourselves, our name, our country and city, and which organization do we represent or work for, the basics, okay? So.
Hello everyone, nice to meet you. My name is Aldina Husseinovic. I'm from Bosnia and Herzegovina, actually from the city Sarajevo. I come from International Birch University at the Social Science Research Center within it. Yeah, that would be it.
Thank you. My name is Mikos Barabas. I came from Budapest, Hungary, and represent a civil society organization called European House. So it comes from this name that we are working on European issues from a civil society perspective. And the reason why I'm here is that we are actively involved in macro-regional policies. And as you know, this conference, what is taking place here, is the concluding event of the Adriatic Ionian presidency for Bosnia-Herzegovina. And it's very good to have, let's say, this special session on young people, because perhaps for those who were not present during the morning plenary session, most of those who took the floor, high-level politicians and other persons, spoke about the necessity of involving young people in all these, let's say, processes. It was very nice to have these statements by high-level politicians, but not one single young person took the floor, unfortunately. So it is now the task of today's meeting here to, following your recommendation, let's say, to formulate certain, let's say, hopefully concrete proposals, how to improve the current situation. And this is why I came here, to get some ideas from you. Thank you.
Yes, debate is a starting point, but going to concrete, it's better.
Thank you. I guess, yeah, you can all see me. So I'm Milena. I'm Italian. I come from Molise region. I would say I'm very motivated young person, especially on linking together actually decision makers and young people. So this is what I do for work. Also, I started a youth organization in my region, which is called Giovani Chimera, and actually we are part of this network. You will see more of us actually spread here, which is the Adriatic Ionian Youth Network, which is this network of youth organizations that are active in the Adriatic Ionian region. So to support actually decision makers, and we are trying to develop a strategy and be more active. But I let also Lisa and others tell you more about it. But it's nice to meet you all.
Hi, my name is Okay, so my name is Lisa, and I'm Italian as well, but here I represent the Adriatic Ionian Euro region, which is a CSO based in Croatia. We work for in transnational cooperation among local and regional authorities in 6 countries of the area. And with this INUREC Plus initiative, we are coordinating this youth network of Adriatic Ionian area. So tomorrow we will be having an event, and we are very eager to establish contacts with the MYC as well. And I will pass the floor to Rahim, who is representing one of the organizations in this network.
Hello, my name is Rahim. I'm from Drina, Albania. Actually, in the network, I represent an environmental NGO called Green Line Albania, part of another world movement. My connection with youth is what intrigues me, and actually, this session could and will help us even with our with the Adriatic Union Youth Network. So I'm very pleased to be here. Hopefully, we can share some experiences on how we can collaborate together.
Hello everyone, my name is Benjamin. Me and my family are originally from Gradiška in the north of Bosnia. I myself am currently based in Malmö, and I'm on a master's in social anthropology at the University of Lund. Thank you.
Hello to everyone, my name is Jelena Đorgović, and I'm from the Ministry of European Integration from Belgrade. And I'm here because I'm working on macro-regional strategies, and since the youth is the main topic in this field, in EUSAIR, 8th EUSAIR, so I'm here to hear the discussion and to follow because we would like to organize also in Belgrade some youth meetings, and so I would like to see how here you will present your needs and what is needed to involve youth in decision making. That is the main topic. Yeah, that is all.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Leila. I'm from Bosnia, and I'm coming from the Directorate for European Integration, that is the organizer of these events of those days. I'm a national coordinator for Danube Transnational Program, and also I'm in charge for other transnational programs that Bosnia and Herzegovina participates in. And well, the hottest topic of couple of the last year and also of this year is youth, and how actually to include young people in the scope, in the decision making and the scope of implementation of the territorial cooperation programs and projects. And I'm here mostly to inspire myself, to see, to hear the ideas, and to see what young people actually think about how could they be involved, and what their contribution can be in the transnational cooperation concretely, but also in other areas. Policy areas, and well, that's it. That's enough.
Indira, Sarajevo, Directorate for European Integration.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Leila Spahic, Sarajevo, and Directorate for European Integration. We are here organizers, so yeah, thank you.
Hello everyone. My name is Mitar Slada. I'm also coming from Directorate for European Integration, and I'm from Sarajevo, but I grew up in a city from northeastern part of Bosnia and Herzegovina called Bijeljina, and I'm looking forward to hear the issue.
Hello, my name is Evangelia Avramidou. I come from Greece. I'm from the Forestry Institute of Greece. I come here because I think that new people have to be in the front, and all the old people, but you know what I mean, that we must step aside, because if we give the opportunity to young people to express and collaborate more, we will have a better future for all of us. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Natalino from Marche region in Italy, and I work for the International Cooperation and Global Education Department, and we are very interested to work with the youth engagement in the EUSAIR area.
So we know now who we are collectively, and we can enter in the starting session of this first workshop. We're going to introduce you the Med-Youth Council. So you have our co-president here who's going to manage. It's just to highlight how it works. It's not the example, but to facilitate how do they manage to design. And I want to insist on this point. Most of the time, we create a box, we design a space for the young people, and then we invite the young people to join. In this case, they have spent 2 years to design the the frame of the council they have created. So it's a pure creation from the bottom up approach of this council is full creation of the young people. And I don't know how we can manage the sound problem, but we will see.
Hello, yes. As I said, I'm Ebtisem. I'm from Algeria, and I'm the co-president of the Mediterranean Youth Council. I'm member of the Mediterranean Youth Council now for 1.5 years. So we're staying in the council basically just for 2 years to let the floor to other people to come after us and have more creative ideas. I will explain to you a little bit more about us. So who we are. I will be very quick. So all the things that can be read, I will not basically say it because it's it's there. So the Mediterranean Youth Council is made up of young and dynamic youth people from the two sides of the Mediterranean area. We're from 18 to 30 years old, and for us, Mediterranean Youth Council, from the beginning, it was an opportunity to express our idea and to have a voice in our region, and maybe at some point in also our country. So we're more than 40 members now, and we're representing more than 14 countries. If you can see, there is a little bit of luck there in this area. It's the main reason why we are here, because we need people from this area. We have like our main goal is really to have people from all over the Mediterranean area, and not only from Europe, not only from Africa, but really from all the Mediterranean area, the Balkans included. So brief history, we'll talk about how the Mediterranean Youth Council was created. So at the first of all, it was an idea of the IGCM, which is the Association pour les jeunes, Assemblée des jeunes. Voilà, Assemblée des jeunes, des citoyens et citoyennes de la Méditerranée, sorry, initiated by Region Sud and the Lazio region in Italy. So our first installation was in Marseille in February 2022. In the COVID period, it wasn't that easy. So it was the official launch of the Mediterranean Youth Council. Spring 2022, we worked on the action plan of the Mediterranean Youth Council because, as you know, we started from nothing. So we needed to build all our plan together, and all the action plan that the actions that we will do in next years all together. So June 2022, Sevilla, we had the political declaration of the Mediterranean Youth Council. I will explain to you after also how every year we're choosing one main topic and we're having a political declaration about it. In October 2022, it was in Santa Severa in Italy. December 2022, Marseille for Med du Futur event. We went to Palma for the Inter-Mediterranean Commission Political Bureau, and we went also to Cartagena this year, Cartagena for the CPMR Political Bureau. Our mission, action advocacy. So first of all, I was telling you that we joined the Mediterranean Council, and the Mediterranean Youth Council was created to give more voice and more implication to the people from that region, the young people especially. So we decided also to have another side, which is the actions, because we knew that without actions, our plan and our goal is not going to be concrete without involving those youth people from our region. So the advocacy action process involves starting from a global context related to the subtopics, subthemes, defining lines of actions and implementing these actions. Our values. I mean, those are not enough to explain all our values, but we try to put like the main important one here. But I think that our values are shared by all the Mediterranean people all around the Mediterranean area and the youth people in general. So bottom approach to connect action and advocacy, not just talking, but talking and doing at the same time. Intermediation, we're here also to be a sort of like having a message, but not only our message, but the message also of the young people from our region to transmit to the politicians of our region. So we're a little bit working as an intermediation. Multilateral debate and local impact. Multiculturalism for sure, because we're coming from very different cultures and very different countries. And intergenerational ethics, which is we're trying also to have those kind of values that we're identifying ourselves in, we're feeling good in, and those are the values of not only our culture and our country, but also the values of the Mediterraneans in general. So the council structure, two main points, because we're talking about inequalities. So the gender balance is quite well respected in the Mediterranean Youth Council, and the north-south balance, it's also, while we're trying to respect it, most of the times we're doing it in a good way. So, oh, I'm sorry, there is, yeah, I'm sorry, there is like some of the words that are not shown, it's okay. So I will start by the co-president and the vice president. The co-president respects those two balance, which is the gender balance and the north-south balance. So I'm the president, I'm the co-president of the Mediterranean Youth Council. I'm a female, I'm coming from a south country of the Mediterranean area. And Alessandro is my co-president, and he's a male, and he's coming from Italy. So we're having vice president also. Same, they are respecting the gender balance and the regional balance. We have a communication group, which is doing all what you will see in our social media if you follow us after, but also having a coordinator group. The coordinator are working to coordinate the main working groups that I will introduce to you. And we have also the charter committee, which is working on the charter and trying to develop it every time. So the 5 working groups are digitalization, gender and discrimination, environment and climate, economy, education and employment, and society and interculturality. We have members in all those groups working, searching, and doing action in those thematics. The support committee structure, so we can't exist without a support committee. So our support committee is institutional bodies, which is Région Sud, Inter-Mediterranean Commission, Region Lazio, the co-president, but also the civil society organizations such as FACM. Les Têtes de l'Art, which Sam is the president, are the main coordinator of the Mediterranean Youth Council. So I will talk also about our actions. There is a festival every year which is called MedAction. This year it's going to be the 4th of June 2023, and we're trying to implement action in all the region of the Mediterranean. Every single member is working with his group to implement an action which is related to the thematic of his group in his region, in his country, and this is one of our main goals basically in the year. So joining the Mediterranean Youth Council, as a lot of people were talking about, involving the youth in the decision making and talking with the politicians about what are we willing to do in our future. The application to join the Mediterranean Youth Council is open till the 10th of June. So the criteria are the age from 18 to 30 years old. You need to speak English, not perfect as you see. Mine is pretty normal, so just speak a normal English and everyone will understand you. Time and capacity to travel, so we need to have time to be committed and be able to travel to other cities, other countries also. Being active and engaged locally, so it's one of the criteria. You need to be engaged in one association, civil society, a project, a group. We just need you to be active and to do already something in your locality. And the region balance, for sure. It's also one of the main reasons that I'm presenting to you that, as I told you, we have a big gap in the region of the Balkans, and we will be happy if you can share the call and trying to push people to apply for the Mediterranean Youth Council to have a more diversified council and also representing really all the region of the Mediterranean. There are also some of the things that the Mediterranean Youth Council is doing: advocating, making an impact on the decision making, raising the youth voice, learn new skills and uplift your personality, building new connections. This is what the Mediterranean Youth Council will add you as a person, as a profile, and as a youth activist. Role and responsibilities of Mediterranean youth members. So, as I told you, president, vice president, there is the coordinator of the working groups, there are the members of the working groups, and there are the communication members. The selection process, so the call was open starting from the 18th of April. We had an info session the 4th of May. We will review all the application by the 10th of June. We will do also the interviews in June, and the final selection will be in July 15th. Sorry? Yes, sure. Mm-hmm. Sorry? For sure. No, it's not closed. It's gonna be closed the 10th of June. Yeah, it's for that I'm trying to present you the 2 more weeks to apply. Yeah, 2 more weeks to apply. So follow us on. Sorry. Yeah. So you can follow us on social media to know a little bit what's happening in the Mediterranean Youth Council, being able also to see when we open or close the applications, and all the events that we are participating in, the advocacy that we are doing, and the actions also that we are doing. I will stop here to not be that long, but if you have more questions, we will be happy to respond to you at the end of the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibtisam, for this smart presentation. I'm going to highlight some key aspects of the Council. First, the question of the cooperation. We push and we advocate to create synergies between different spaces of young initiative. We don't ask to everything should be beyond the Med-Youth Council, but how the Med-Youth Council could also work with local youth initiative, network, etc. So it's also about cooperation and gathering and creating synergies. Each network has its own strengths, connection, capacity, so it's important to say that. And second point I want to highlight is about the committee support. The committee support, it's open. The important thing, it's a mix between institution. Now it's the CPMR, and some regions are more and more involved, but it could be the Union for the Mediterranean, the Annalyn Foundation, the blah blah. So it's an open space. Each network or institution who wants to be part of the development of the Med-Use Council could ask to join the committee support. It's also another space of cooperation between institutions, and that's a key aspect. We don't like the idea that everyone, each institution or program have his own young people. This is my young people. No, we have young people involved in activities, and we are there to support their initiative and not to make a kind of property. This is my young people, this is my young network. So how could institutions work together to support the involvement of youth in different spaces? And as you saw in the history, I don't know if you could go back to the history part. We were talking at the beginning about the question of governance. And one of the success of the Med-Use Council is after the political declaration and the event we had in Spain, they decided to integrate some representative of the Youth Council in the political bureau. So this is one key aspect, because they were not just invited, but now they are part of the decision body of the CPMR, which is one of the goals they have, to be actively part of the decision making. Just also not to put too much pressure on the actual opening call for joining the Med-Use Council. We renew each year half of the membership for 2 years. So we're going to have, it's a long-term process. So if it's not this year, it could be next year, etc. So it's just a kind of, we have still 2 more weeks to involve new members this year, but we're going to have other calls later on. Is it okay? Questions about that? About the Med-Use Council to the members? Once a year, yeah. And the idea is to still have on board experimented members and new ones to make a kind of logical. Okay? Yes, another point. 40% is not too much. So we are thinking also about creating a wider group, like, what is the name? No, not assembly. Perhaps on doit créer un cercle plus élargi de membres. Alumni. That was the word I was looking for. So we are thinking of creating an alumni of young people who, when they get out from the council, they can join the alumni to create a wider community and to be still involved in those kind of activity without being a formal member. So this is a That's a good question. For now, it's just a council supported, so informal organization. But one of the plan is to structure a formal association to have a legal body. But you want to say something about that, or?
It's, I guess. It could be.
So I'm coming back to this slide just to highlight one very important aspect. The governance of the MYC is made to be autonomous. I mean, the bureau of the MYC have the capacity to decide who is going to be representing what, where, about which topic are they going to work. And we didn't create a supra board to take the decision for the council. It's just a support committee beside the MYC. And the support committee cannot, and I insist on that point, cannot take decision for the Med-Use Council. They have 4 key functions: to open the capacity for the council to meet local experts and politics. I am an institution, I know local politics, so I'm going to facilitate for the council to create the contact. The second aspect is to share the topics, the challenges, about the local challenges they have to face on different topics. So it's also a way to, we are young people, you have through your activities and services a lot of macro vision of the problematic, how we can work together to have a common understanding and find the right way to work on it. The third aspect is to share the agenda. I mean, all the members of the committee have a common agenda and share, okay, we're going to organize an event in Albania, an event in Italy about young involvement in Catalonia, how we can share all our events where we expect to involve youth and decide together who's going to go where to advocate and find concrete solutions. So it's also a common space because most of the time each institution manage their own event. So we created an open agenda. And then it's also support financially the mobility, this is important, and the plenaries of the Med-Use Council. Because in our organization, they have to meet in a plenary mode 4 times a year, but at least once in presential mode. So that means that we have to pay for 40 to 50 mobilities, and we need support for that. Okay, so this is the way the committee support is a real support for the MYC, but without interfering in the decision process. It's a kind of a mix. Yes, this is a key aspect, but it's for us it's disconnected with the fact of having or not a formal organization. You can create a formal organization, association, and have no recognition and no impact. Or you can be informal and have a strong impact. They want, I think I'm talking under your control, to create an autonomous organization. For now, all the administrative tasks are under les têtes de l'art. But it's just a step to give them the time to create their own organization, then structure. That means some staff also, so permanent cost, etc. So it's a step-by-step strategy. At the end, they will be completely independent. It's okay for the council? So we're gonna go now to the next session, which is I think a game. Why a game?
Well, guys, since we are young, everybody, and so stop talking. It's time to play. Talking to the microphone, I guess. And yeah, it's time to play a game, which Sam wrote us. Where is it? Here. Okay. It's a card game, and basically you divide the card into the first is your profile of people. So every one of you has a profile.
The idea is A A A A A A A A A A A A A a bit more. Yes.
Hello? 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 It's working? Okay. Okay. It's for the people online. So I will ask you kindly to stand up from your place. We will ask you also to read the description of your profile. Sorry? It's your, you can play the role entirely and not move. That's your choice. That's your choice. Okay, so we will read a little bit, like not all of you, but just some. We will read just to know, to have an idea about what kind of profile do we have. And after Fede and I, we will read some sentences for you. If you feel like this profile, the profile that you're taking the role of, can be, these sentences can affect him, or he can be involved, or he can suffer from those things, just do a small step. That's it. Okay. Questions? Questions? Okay. Do you want to tell us your profile?
You're a boy and spend your evenings playing video games. You're in love with the boy in your class, and only your best friend knows about it.
Okay. Okay. Someone else wants to tell us his profile or her profile? Yes.
I am a 21-year-old Alice, and I'm a white lesbian woman that is overweight and a part of the Meteorological Association.
Okay. Okay. Last one, maybe? Yes. Okay. 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 So We will try to go for the question now. I will also ask you to really forget about yourself. It's not about yourself. It's about the profile that you have. Okay? It's not about what you're thinking. It's not about the stereotype that you're having about those people. It's about really being in the skin of those people. Try to be on the skin of those people. Okay? Okay, so let's go.
Okay. So the first sentence is, I think somebody had to stand up, if you don't mind. Sorry. Sorry, I didn't know. I was watching him. Okay, va bene, guys. Sorry. Well, the first sentence, my accent is never made fun of. One. Okay. Okay. My accent is never made fun of. Yeah. Well, no.
Don't move if you are not concerned. That means in that case, regarding your profile, you have some jokes about your accent.
Okay. So the second one is, I have never lived below the poverty line. I have never lived below the poverty line. Go help him. Okay, are we good?
We wait for the lady or? Okay. Next sentence. I can easily take public transport.
Okay, this one is very interesting. I don't need to buy menstrual products, tampons, pads, etc. I don't need to buy menstrual products.
My parents can help me financially with my studies. My parents can help me financially with my studies.
And perhaps the last one?
I am often with people of the same skin color as me. I am often with people of the same skin color as me. Do we have someone in the center? Wait. We can have another one. One last question. Let's go for one last question.
Okay. I can live in a safe neighborhood with easy access to shops and culture. I can live in a safe neighborhood with easy access to shops and culture. Last one.
So we will end here the questions. I will just ask the people in the center to give us their profiles, please.
Surprise, surprise! I'm a woman. I'm a woman of Asian origin, and I'm in love with a boy at my university.
Is there is no, doesn't say.
Well, a white heterosexual boy, 12 years old. Parents earn a good living, privileged. You're hard of hearing and passionate about comics. So.
Complicated.
Yeah.
I'm Emma, 15. I'm a white intersex person, and I'm in a relationship with a girl from my class, and we both roller skate.
Okay. Okay. Can we ask? Hello. You didn't move a lot.
Yes, my name is Pedro. I'm 15. I'm a boy. 2 years ago, I moved to a country where I didn't speak the language. I love drag queen culture and consider myself bisexual.
Okay.
And the one in the wheel?
Yes.
You know my profile already.
You can you tell it again? Just.
Yeah, I'm Luis. I'm 14. I'm a white boy. I'm a wheelchair user. And my passion is bodybuilding. I both like girls and boys, so you're all welcome.
Okay. Thank you so much. Can we sit? Just keep them. We will have a last discussion about the profiles and the questions. So my question is, do you think that you were acting really as the profile that you had, or you were acting basing on stereotypes that you have about those people?
To me, personally, it was very difficult to know if I should move or not, because the character I have, it's Alex, 16 years old. You are mixed race. You consider yourself to be non-binary, and your family has a modest income. You are a fan of classical music. But I was all the time asking around, like, okay, modest income. Does it mean they can pay for my studies or not? It depends also on what kind of studies I want to do. So I was like, maybe I move a bit, but not much. I don't know. Or also, mixed race. What does this really mean? Like, there was a question about the skin of, like, my color skin. Well, I don't know what is the color of my skin, so should I move or not? So it was difficult for me actually to put myself into the shoes of this guy, because there weren't enough information in a way. I couldn't know.
But you don't know a lot of things about him.
Exactly. So in this sense, I tried not to put stereotypes. Yeah, I tried not to put stereotypes myself. I tried to respect the cards, but then it's very hard to move. That's what the feeling. So I was asking. I was really. I saw. I noticed. I noticed.
Okay, the informations in the card is not that much. It's a pretty simple card. So we have all to create a profile in our minds in order to move or not to move. I don't know if the profile we create in our minds based on stereotypes. I think that it's based on how we interact with other people in our communities. So each one of us created in a profile on how this profile interact in the communities we live. So that's, I think, the difference between how we move on.
So I have here Julian is 21 years old. You are a white transgender man who likes boys. You don't have much money. You love computers and Magna. So I try to put this in both ways. So me looking as outside, if this is happening in my city, I mean my country, because I don't know how it would be happening somewhere else. But putting on my country's perspective, I kind of thought the question that you said. I mean, like, is this because I react to this like this, or is like I really tried hard to see this through his eyes, and knowing how it works, and all the work that I really have been doing in human rights. So it doesn't really matter to me if I really, even if I'm not like a non-supporter of LGBTQ communities. I just said that I found it pretty hard to actually, because I have friends on transgender community, so it looked so hard when I said to myself that it might be difficult for me to use the public transportation because of my hair, for example, or if I'm a girl, or if I feel like, or of my style. So it really made me think. So thank you. So that it was a very, very good exercise.
So basically, I will play my little cheat card as an anthropologist and say that I have actually read and studied these types of people in different contexts. But I would probably say my impression is this really has more to do to highlight social stratification in society. And to be fair, the cards in themselves don't really give you that much to go on and are actually quite unimportant. But I think that they still give you a very good insight in how different issues still affect people differently, which kind of gives the indication that you need to have a very wide understanding and range of understanding different social issues and how they affect people differently. So it's never about one specific question of race, class, gender, or anything else. You need to have this all-encompassing understanding to really reach the structural issues in the bottom of things. Yeah. No worries.
I was, or I'm Lina, 21, and I'm Moroccan, Muslim woman. I wear a hijab and do a lot of athletics. So the only I studied also stereotypes, and I did discourse analysis about stereotypes, and I think that there should I didn't recognize myself in any of the stereotypes that you quoted, so I don't know, maybe it was I wasn't sure sometimes, but I think you didn't tell stereotype that I should recognize me.
Just to tell you that the game is called the privilege game, and it was created as an icebreaker to engage a discussion about the way inequalities are acting in an invisible way, and the way it's you find your path in society, managing with that. So it's more a game we use in schools, in groups, etc., to engage the discussion about that. It's more or less a 1 hour game to start the work on it. And we wanted to share it with you to go to the next and last session about concrete inequalities you are facing in your territories.
Hello. So we will distribute small papers, and each one will wrote down on each paper an issue that they face in their territory regarding the inequality. And after writing an issue, you will find there is a paper here and one over there. And these papers are distributed into 4 sections. And each section is like a category for this. Like you have to put your issue in which category of this inequality. Let's start by distributing, like, write three papers.
Maybe it's better. Maybe it's better to write one for people. You know, like you write one, you use one paper, and then you pass to another paper.
So we have mobility, religion, gender, health, age, education, peace, climate. But if you have another category, you can create your category, okay, if you don't find. And we don't ask you to have a kind of scientific point of view of inequalities, but something you faced in your real life, personally, professionally, and you know it's an issue in your territory, and we can work on. So something concrete, you know.
So to summarize, we need by each one of you, we need by each one of you 2 or 3 issues or elements of inequalities that you feel like personal or in your professional life, close to you and close to your local territories. We are not talking about saving the world or maximum systems or stars, or we are talking about concrete things, problems, issues. So what we ask to do is that write about concrete and local issues. And visible, yes. Yes, sentence. Yeah, exactly. Simple sentences, and in English, obviously. I will explain later. If you don't find your categories, in age, education, race, climate, and all of that. There is a mixed category there. Okay. Starting from the age category, the first issue is MYC. Mediterranean Youth Council is one. Do we have any vote for that? Well, the dynamic. Okay. Another one for age is there is an age limit to all educational programs. Race, racial, ethnic, asymmetrical power relations. Racial or ethnic asymmetrical power relations. Education. Unequal access to education. University costs that only a few can pay. Exclusive education for people with intellectual disabilities. Bad education system. Bad infrastructure. Educational and cultural does anyone can help me? Lack, yes. Educational and cultural lack of capital, heightening participation. Okay. Educational and cultural lack of capital, heightening participation. Then climate, air pollution, no air in this room, no recycling, and climate issues not taken for serious for other people.
So in the mobility, we have mobility is embatching social connection, Schengen system, visa, money, time wasted, and slides to be able to travel on time. This is no much mobility in Balkans, born in countryside and not in a city. Regarding to gender, bods are expensive, gender, work, family, right?
Yes, work, family,
Balance, faculties. Pay is not equal. Different income, pay, same job. Tax on female basic products, buds, gender,
patriarchal
society without equal opportunities for new and women. Regarding health, less specialist, hard to search, right? Unequal treatments. Regarding to religion, oh, you are Muslim, Sunni, we don't have halal food. The text. Tax, extra tax.
Due to
My religion.
And the new category?
Democratic issues, like no member of politics, no progress. No member of politics, no progress. Equal participation to decision making. Bad politics, then low youth participation, then low improvement rates. Bodies. Sorry, our maximum size is M. Discrimination about class. Discrimination of the Roma people. Economical precocity. And poverty reach difference. Well, now the second part of this activity is about voting. So we're gonna give you three. Okay, they are giving you 3 points, 3 votes to give what? So you have to choose with your 3 votes which one you consider more important and more probably yes, important to discuss this afternoon in the session with politicians.
Let me make a clear point about the criteria decision. The decision should take on this paper on something you think that we can act on it at the local level. For example, we want to go upon the poverty problem and education, but we cannot work at a local level to make disappear poverty. So this is something more global, but try to identify on the contribution some key inequalities that gathering the action of institution and young people, we can do a bit on it. This is mostly the idea, to identify something that we can act concretely on it. And those key votes, we're gonna discuss it this afternoon with the politics we're gonna have to think how we can make concrete action on those concrete inequalities. Okay? So you can move, you have 3 votes, try to think about the more pragmatic and efficient we can work on. And that's gonna be almost the end of the session because we need to go for the lunch. Just point next to one, not only category, but ID. You just not support a thematic, you have to support an ID. You vote for a post-it, not for a category. Okay, if you finished the vote, I'm gonna just highlight the key votes, and then we're gonna start the wrap-up of the session to give you the opportunity to go to the lunch. With no surprise, on climate change, we can do things about recycling. This is, we could have a concrete impact locally on recycling and a bit on pollution. We have something about democratic issue and the equal participation in decision making. So we can do things locally about decision making involvement. On the other side, on the highlight, we have one about mobility, which is the inequalities on the territories between the big cities and the rural spaces. So it's about mobility plan, more or less. And one about, oh, you're a Muslim, sorry, we don't have halal food, so how we can work. Yeah? Yes, that was, I think, an image to say this is an example of discrimination about access of food, but I'm vegetarian, but I don't have the possibility, or vegan, etc. So the possibility to work on it, and that we have other vote, but that was a key vote. So just to finish this session, to say that on, and I remember you, is that it's the process the Med-Use Council is working on. They debate on topics with expert politics, etc., and then they try to transform their discussion into action locally. So that's what they're going to do, for example, for the next Med Action. So we're going to try this afternoon as an exercise to find a way first to agree on a topic that we can work on. And we have a process called a Med-Use Challenge. Just to tell you what is a Med-Use Challenge. One young people on a territory, one of the members, are connected with one politics, and they decide together to work on a concrete action. So they make a statement that we can share on social media, like TikTok, unusual media, which normally are not used by the politics. And they launch a kind of challenge. We're going to try in 1 year to have concrete results on the topic. And we follow the challenge during all the year, and at the end of the year, we try to publish the result of what they made together, a young member and a politics on a topic, concrete. That's one way to transform the political declaration to concrete action. This is one of the aspects. I invite us all together to prolong the discussion during the informal time, lunch, evening, whatever. And I think the members of the council are eager to connect with you guys and prolong the discussion, but you wanted to have a word about something concrete?
Thank you. I know it's lunchtime, so I will be brief. First of all, thank you very much for giving me your email addresses. I will share it with you, so one of the concrete ways, otherwise how to keep contact. Otherwise, what we are doing as a civil society organization is working on macro-regional policy influencing. Actually, as you know, this is a meeting for the Adriatic Ionian macro-region, but there are 3 other macro-regions. And our idea is how to bring interested civil society representatives and organizations together from the 4 macro-regions, which is quite an ambitious thing. It's not a formalistic arrangement, but rather an informal setup. I hope you are interested and you will be, let's say, part of this growing network. And what I can do is that I have a brief, short description, what I can share with you, and then I will send an email. Hopefully I can read your handwritten emails, and then we can stay in touch. Thank you.
Thanks to you. I want to thank the technique for invisible work, but very needed work, so thanks to you. And thanks to the organizer of the forum and workshop, and thanks to the participant. Let's continue this afternoon. Have a good and nice lunch and following meeting.